Clear and chilly on the north side here tonight as the Cubs have returned home. It's a 7-day, 6-game NL Central homestand starting with a Pittsburgh Pirates Game 1 of a 3-game series. Great to have you with us, Jim DeShays and Len Casper. The Pirates are hot. They've won 5 in a row. And the Cubs coming off a nice 4-2 road trip.
Yeah, one thing the Cubs have not done the last 2 or 3 years is win within the division, and certainly haven't won on the road. They were able to do that on this trip. Split a 4-game set with the Pirates. 3 of those games were 1-run games, and then 1-2 in Pittsburgh. Here's the math: 4-2, 5.5 runs per game. Good work by the lineup in the bullpen, posting a 3.20 ERA. Struggled a little bit in Pittsburgh, but bounced back and really pitched well in Cincinnati.
Got a pitching rematch from last week in Pittsburgh. Vance Worley bested Jason Hamill, and Hamill's trying to turn the tables tonight.
Yeah, Worley actually has been quite good against the Cubs in his career. 3-0 lifetime with an ERA below 2. Hamill in his start in Pittsburgh, I thought he was good early on, had some bad luck, some soft hits drop in against him. Ended up going 5 innings, allowed 4 runs, 3 earned.
Cubs 4-4 so far here in the friendly confines, and the first road trip for Addison Russell featured excellent defense and a key hit in the win yesterday in Cincinnati. We'll have the Pirates and Cubs in Russell's Wrigley Field debut next.
Is brought to you in part by your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois, through it all. AT&T Uverse. Find out what's possible with AT&T. Call 1-800-PIC-ATT, mobilizing your world. Ford. Check out America's freshest lineup at your local Ford store or at localfordstores.com. And by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com.
Statue of Billy Williams outside the ballpark. Inside, clear and cold tonight. Looks like most everybody was prepared with jackets and gloves and even a blue cap that makes you look like Papa Smurf. It's your new name. Now the Pirates, Southwest starting the lineup written out by manager Clint Hurdle. They have won 5 in a row, and yesterday an 8-0 win. 14 hits, a season high. That game played in Arizona. Harrison, Lambo in. Polanco late scratch. We'll tell you about that in a second. McCutchen in center. Scuffling right now. Neil Walker's at second. He's got a 9-game hitting streak. Starling Marte has been hot. Pedro Alvarez at first. Francisco Cervelli the catcher. It's Jordy Mercer, the shortstop, batting 8th, and Vance Worley hitting 9th.
Cubs in the field this evening. Coughlin, Fowler, Soler. Left, center, right. Third base is Bryant. Castro and Russell up the middle. Rizzo's your first baseman. Miguel Montero is behind the plate tonight, in the Lexus pursuing perfection starting pitcher for the Cubs this evening is veteran right-hander Jason Hamill, who's made 3 starts, 1 up, 1 down, 1 no decision, a 5.19 earned run average for Jason. And look at that stat line. The thing that really jumps out at you, just one walk issued so far in 17 and a third innings. He struck out 16. And as I mentioned in his last start, was victimized by some bad luck early on.
So Harrison will dig in. Former minor league teammate of Starlin Castro, in fact, before he was traded to the Pirates. Pirates 11-8 starting the night. The Cubs 10-7 and a strike called to get us started. 93 on the fastball from Jason Hamill. Fouled away quickly. Hamill ahead 0-2.
As is often the case early in the year, this part of the country, cold weather should favor the pitchers. Doesn't always play out that way.
Lifted in the air to right. Jorge Soler over near the foul line makes the catch. Roster moves before the ball game. For more on that, here's Kelly Kroll.
Yeah, the Cubs beefing up their bench a little bit, back to full strength as they recall outfielder Junior Lake on the option. They have sent Brian Schlitter to AAA Iowa. And guys, Madden did say he was okay with 12 pitchers after, of course, the rain out on Saturday. And then he has the off day coming up on Thursday. But Junior Lake will be available if he needs him tonight.
Kelly, thank you. Maybe evening up things on the roster. They had the extra pitcher a little short on the bench. The extra catcher, and Andrew Lambeau got the late call to start tonight. Gregory Polanco scratched due to left groin tightness.
Yeah, I think Joe Madden feels pretty comfortable with this move because he's got two lefties in the pen with Koch and Rosscup now. Jackson hasn't been used all that much. Jermaine has thrown the ball well the little bit we've seen of him, so been kind of starting to take shape, and I'm sure Joe appreciates having that extra guy on the bench because he's like a mad scientist. He likes to use guys, and we saw that game in Pittsburgh where we almost got to a point where we had Travis Wood playing the field. So an extra piece, an extra pawn to play with for the chess master.
2-1 to Lambeau, and that rising fastball getting a swing and a miss.
Hamill, good life on the heater here in the early going, 93, 94 miles an hour. Complement that with a slider, occasional curve and change.
6'6" righty coming back. That ball hit on the ground, bobbled by Rizzo. He still has time. Hamill covering. 2 down. Set the umpires for you tonight. Lance Barrett will work home plate. Diana Sonia is at first. Dale Scott, the crew chief, at second, and C.B. Buckner's over at third. 43 degrees. Feels like it's in the low 30s. We've got a north wind right now at 10 miles an hour. Blowing in basically from left and left center. Andrew McCutchen just went through the longest offer of his career yesterday against the Diamondbacks. Snapped an 0 for 16, and you see hitting just 186. Taking his walks, not hitting for a lot of power early on. One in the dirt. McCutchen, a career .359 hitter in this ballpark. On 2 bounces to Bryant to end the inning. A 1-2-3 opening frame. Cubs coming up. Donate $100 to Make-A-Wish, Illinois. Cubs Southwest starting lineup looks like one we've seen quite a bit here lately. Fowler, Soler, Rizzo at the top. Rizzo keeps getting on base for Chris Bryant. Miguel Montero, who loves it, and he hit his 100th career homer yesterday in Cincinnati. Castro off to a great start. Chris Coughlin's got 3 homers. Jason Hamill, the pitcher, and young Addison Russell in his Wrigley debut.
Take a look first at the Pirates outfield. You see McCutchen in center, flanked by Marte and Lambo. Third to first, Harrison, Mercer, Walker, Alvarez, Cervelli. Over from the Yankees does the catching. Alexis pursuing perfection, starting pitcher for the Pittsburgh Pirates is the Vanimal. It's Worley, 2-1 with an ERA of 4 here in the early going.
Has not lost to the Cubs in his career. 2 strikes on Dexter Fowler as you check out what Worley has done. One of those 2 wins came against the Cubs last week. 3-0 lifetime, 5 career starts, and a 1.97 against the Cubs. Walker with an easy play. He gets Fowler.
So this will be his 4th start of the year, and against just 2 clubs. His first 2 starts were against Milwaukee. The first one, he gave up 6 earned runs in 6 1/3. Then he figured them out, pitched well against them his second outing, allowed just 2 in 6 innings. And against the Cubs last time out, 5 2/3, 6 hits, 1 run. It was unearned. A couple of walks, 5 strikeouts. Looks from the third base side of the rubber, throws across his body a little bit.
The dirt on Jorge Soler. It's been a real struggle. His last 4 games, he's nothing for 15 with 10 strikeouts, and I've seen him do a bunch of things that we normally don't see, and that is swing it a lot of stuff out of the strike zone.
Yeah, he's chased pitches and you know, a little bit. He was here last year when he went out of the zone. He'd make a little bit of contact, and you know, this recent stretch, just a lot of swings and misses. Just pressing a little bit. Worley's not going to light up the radar gun. Fastball, a high 80s. There's a cutter, a curve, and a change.
Drills this one into the left field corner, and it's going to one-hop the wall. This way to snap that 0-for streak. Who was worried? It's fine.
Well, me worry. Alfred E. Newman. That's a cement mixer, backup breaking ball. That's, you know, he's been chasing that breaking ball out of the zone, but when you leave it there, pretty good chance he's going to punish it.
The Major League on base percentage leader, Anthony Rizzo, 481. And I got a tweet asking a good question. What's the Cubs single season record for on base percentage? Well, all time, according to Baseball Reference, King Kelly 1886, 483, but in the modern era, Rogers Hornsby put up a 459 in 1929. That was a live ball era, right?
1929?
Right around that time.
Yeah.
The 30s?
Yeah, the dead ball era ended around 1920. Yeah, that's when Ruth was hitting all the home runs. Rogers Hornsby wouldn't go to the movies because he thought it bothered, upset his vision.
Strike called 1-2.
Said he spent his winter staring out the window waiting for spring to arrive.
There it is, and he struck him out swinging. 2 away, and it'll bring up Chris Bryant.
You've seen fastball, well located, and just a little late getting started, it looked like.
Nine games into his big league career. the walks to strikeouts ratio. I know Jesse Rogers talked to you. I saw your quote about how rare that is for a kid this young. And a power hitter profile to almost have a 1-to-1 walks to strikeouts.
Yeah, it's something that you maybe see a player grow into, but it is pretty rare to see a young kid come to the big leagues and have that combination. Discipline and power. Power hasn't really showed up yet here in terms of a home run. We've seen him drive some balls for sure.
3-0, Montero waiting on deck. Well, he's from Sacramento, California, 27 years old. He's put together 6'2", 250. To be put together if you have the word animal somehow part of your nickname.
Yeah, you wouldn't call Chris Russin the animal or anything like that.
Fastball count, didn't get one. 3-2.
It looked like he threw him a little cutter on 3-0 and then a changeup on 3-1, and that's the other thing about Bryant. Everybody's aware of what he's capable of, and they are treating him like respect. No rookie treatment here for Bryant.
To the shortstop Mercer. Is it across? A good hustle by Bryant as the throw barely beat him. Double by Soler, no runs, was scoreless early.
Using the hashtag Cubs Talk, and make sure to follow us on Twitter at Len and JD.
Second inning of work for Jason Hamill. Flopped with Travis Wood, who will get the ball tomorrow night. Switch hitting Neil Walker. Travis Wood, Jeff Locke in game 2. Kyle Hendricks, Garrett Cole on Wednesday night. Both right-handed, but contrasting styles.
Now, we missed Cole in the 4-game set in Pittsburgh last week. He's off to a very good start. Pirates pitching overall has been really good. They allowed just 2 runs to the Diamondbacks, sweeping them over the weekend in 3 games out in the desert. It's our 5th in the National League in runs scored.
Walker down the right field line, foul. His bid for a 10-game hitting streak. The other way, still 1-2.
Pitcher on a cold night like tonight, one thing you want to be mindful of is the guys playing behind you. Keep them in the dugout as much as possible. Work quickly, throw strikes.
Just outside on a fastball. It's 2-2.
It was 7 out of 12 over the weekend against the D-backs. So he's seen it really well.
He held up. It's full. Starling Marte on deck. No game tonight in Baltimore. White Sox and Orioles postponed due to safety concerns. They've had rioting downtown Baltimore following the funeral of Freddie Gray. Rob Manfred, the MLB commissioner, was actually at the ballpark. Soler will make the catch, and they possibly could move tomorrow night's game to Nationals Park in Washington, depending on the safety situation in Baltimore.
Number 6, Starling Marte.
Yeah, you just cannot afford to bring your fans down into that area right now with everything that's going on.
About 1,000 fans in the ballpark when they announced the postponement about 40 minutes prior to the scheduled first pitch. Here's Marte, and he bunts foul. He likes to bunt. He can hit the ball out of the ballpark, but he's a complete player.
$13 home runs last year, 30 stolen bases.
He's had good success here, just like Andrew McCutchen, a career .330 batter at Wrigley Field. Nominated for the NL Player of the Week at .381 last week. 0-2. Boy, that's a good sinker from Hamill. Ball almost ended up in the dirt. That's how much it ended up dropping.
5 up, 5 down to get started here for Hamill, and indeed a very good sinking fastball. Down well below the knees.
Pedro Alvarez has now started every game but one. First base. Cubs won the first two in Pittsburgh last week, but the Pirates able to salvage a split by taking the final two games of that very tightly contested series.
Pirates have won 5 in a row in this ballpark. They were 7-2 here last year.
Clint Hurdle has done a fantastic job as a manager of the Pirates. Back-to-back playoff seasons after a long 2-decade drought. Hamill, good early, inning and a half in the books, scoreless. In our Xfinity high-speed action on the south side of Chicago yesterday against the White Sox. Watch what he did. Into the stands.
Just complete disregard for his body. Flung himself into the stands to make that catch. One quick peek. See where the wall was, and he's right back on the baseball.
I think everybody ultimately was okay. So my scenario, and kudos to betterrulebook.com as they tweeted out that I've mentioned this. If there had been a runner at third and less than 2 outs, that guy would have scored. But you fall out of play after making a catch like that. So it's game 7 of the World Series, bottom of the 9th. You got to think about it. Is it worth it? Miguel Montero homered yesterday, knocked in 2. The Cubs win at Great American Ballpark, and he did get the baseball from his 100th career homer. He and Chris Coghlan leading the team with 3 long balls.
Anthony DeSclafani trying to go down and away on him, and Montero showing good pop the other way.
Pulls this one toward the gap. It's cut off by Lambeau, and a leadoff single for Montero.
Ball was out away from him a little bit, but he went out there and cut it off.
Starlin Castro off to the best start of his career, not only with the bat, but defensively as well. With a lot of confidence, he's hit in 14 of his first 17 games this season. Ball 1 low.
9 out of 25 on the road trip. Good for a .360 batting average. Drove in 5. And flashing a little leather. How about this play? Brendan Bosch. He got Bosch a couple times in the ball game yesterday, but that was outstanding.
Cervelli held it for an extra second. Could not buy the call from Lance Barrett.
Potential hit and run here with Castro hitting. 2 balls, 1 strike. Going. Only not a big swing and miss guy. Castro puts the ball in play a high percentage of the time. That one's well placed at the knees.
Pirates have pitched really well early on, particularly their starters. Could be 2, 6 to 4 to 3. Just in time at first. I recall a big double play Worley was able to coax off the bat of Castro in his last start against the Cubs. That was a kind of a turning point in the game. Cubs were trying to break it open and could not.
Yeah, that's right. They had a 4-1 lead. We got the big double play, and then the Pirates came back and won that ball game.
Chris Coghlan, ball 1. See, I was totally wrong about that. It's a 4-game series. They all blend together. It was the Chris Bryant at bat. He swung 3-0 and eventually got him to fly out. Marte on the warning track, and that will end the inning. 2 in the books. 0-0.
Cubs are making some noise this year, so don't miss the excitement here at Wrigley Field. Tickets are still available for every game in this homestand. Brewers are coming to town after the Pirates. Get your tickets at Cubs.com. Let's go!
And follow Patrick Mooney, our Cubs insider, all season long here on Comcast Sportsnet. Brought to you by Nationwide agent Jeff Vukovich. Visit jeffvuk.com. Nationwide is on your side. Jorge Soler, I know, was a topic of conversation with Joe Madden. A double to snap an 0 for 15. It's pretty obvious he doesn't love the cold weather. Patrick, we've talked, JD and I have. Very few guys do like playing in cold weather. He just seems to be a little more deliberate about it with all the gear he's wearing.
Yeah, I think Joe called it his face mask look, and Joe was asking where was Jorge Soler last year, and we're like, he was pretty much rehabbing most of the year in Arizona. So obviously, he's getting used to just the big leagues in general, and then you throw in this cold factor here. It can't be comfortable to play with, and it's just kind of part of the peaks and valleys these young guys are going to go through.
2 strikes on Cervelli. Dirt from Hamill, 1 and 2. Any update on Javier Baez?
Theo pregame said he thinks it's a matter of days, not weeks, to when he rejoins the Iowa club. Obviously seeing Addison Russell here making his Wrigley debut, kind of natural to wonder about Javi. Hopefully he gets back on track pretty soon.
Well, strike 3 on Cervelli. That's 3 straight strikeouts now for Hamill.
Yeah, he's got good fastball command tonight. He's off to a great start here. First 2 strikeouts were swinging. This time he paints the outside corner on Cervelli, who didn't like it, but appeared to be a really good pitch.
Another shortstop, Jordy Mercer.
Justin Grimm. Any updates on Justin Grimm?
Not really. I think they're basically they said he's making progress, that he's doing better. I believe he's on a throwing program in Arizona. I think I'm guessing he would be ahead of Ramirez. There hasn't been much clarity with that. But obviously you see those 2 pieces, you pull them out of the bullpen. It's a huge loss.
There's a 1-1, and it's off the outside corner. All right, the DH. So the Wainwright injury happens. Now we have this renewed debate. Max Scherzer chimed in. People would rather see Poppy hit than me. And actually, I think he got hurt too, right?
He's got a little thumb. I think he's going to miss the start.
As it pertains to the Cubs, though, it's kind of fun because, You've got Kyle Schwarber, Dan Vogelbach. You've got all this offensive talent in the minor leagues and only so many defensive positions. I'm not saying it's going to happen next year or even the year after. We all agree that it's when, not if, we'll have the DH in both leagues. Whether we like it or not.
I don't.
You
I think there's a.
You think it's going to
I
stay?
think there's some people there. I think there's. Well, I guess if I had to bet, I would say it's probably going to happen, but I don't know if it's at the point where it's a given that it's going to happen.
What do you think, Patrick?
I think it's got to come up with the labor deal expiring after next season. I think selfishly, if you're the Cubs, you got to be interested in this. It came up a couple of years ago, and we asked Dale Swaim about it, and he immediately thought of Dan Vogelbach. And at that point, Vogelbach was in like A-ball and not kind of tearing up the Southern League. And that was pre-Kyle Schwarber, a guy who you're not quite sure if he can catch or play left field. And we're obviously getting ahead of ourselves, but I think Theo's in the past has said, that he likes the idea. He did not want to address it this afternoon, saying I say the same thing every year in league meetings.
Can they get him? No. Early with an infield hit. Good effort.
That would have been fancy.
It would have. So the first Pirate hit comes from the 9 spot, the pitcher. Well, here's where I go, JD. Forget injuries to pitchers. We have so much interleague play. If you could tell me no more interleague play and National League plays National League, American plays American, and then the World Series, we have fun with mixing it up, I'm fine with it. But I just feel like 2 different sets of rules and we have a lot of mixing of teams is weird. Everything else they've done in baseball is to kind of create one major league. I don't think there's even a National League president anymore, is there?
No, there's no independent president. I'm a purist on this one. I don't want to see it happen. If anything, I'd like to see the American League eliminate the DH.
I agree, but
that's never going to happen.
It's a losing battle.
That's never going to happen.
It's a losing battle.
I do kind of like the debate.
Yeah.
And I don't think your club really should worry about fighting for a rules change based on the personnel that they have in the minor leagues. Because when you make a rule change, it's there for good. It's going to stay, and your personnel is going to change over time. And if you have Dan Vogelbach and you don't think he can play a position in the biggest way, he's still an asset that you could move to an American League club, unless they wised up and got rid of the DH, which isn't going to happen. But yeah, you're probably right. It's probably going to happen eventually. I'm kicking and screaming against it when it does.
You saw my Twitter feed today. 85% of the people agree with you and are upset that I even brought it up. It gets away, and Montero's going to throw, even though Worley isn't really running. All right, Patrick, you're our designated writer / TV guy. Thanks, man. No score. exciting second rounder with Minnesota. Do not forget to flip over to CSN Chicago after the action for instant reaction, highlights, and more on Blackhawks post-game live. Presented by Hawk Ford after every game on Comcast Sportsnet. Bundled up on a cold Monday night here at Wrigley Field. Well, if the pitcher weren't hitting in the Pirates lineup, they may not have a hit. And Jason Hamill's 4 for 8.
You got a 500 hitter. You can't take the bat out of his hands. Well, he's not letting the elements influence him. He's out there, he's getting knocks. He's pitching with no sleeves.
It was a swing born out of getting his face out of the way of the pitch. Bat went with it. Foul.
Man. They got a little careless, and Jason almost made him pay. Nothing else. Take a bite out of him, make him throw some pitches.
The breaking ball up, but he pops it up, and it's Neil Walker to make the catch. And here comes 21-year-old Addison Russell.
Second baseman, number 22, Addison Russell.
Number 3 prospect in all of baseball, according to Baseball America, and number 2 in the Cubs system. That one is rifle foul to left. Tells you something about the Cubs system. Not even number 1 in the Cubs system. It's Chris Bryant, but they're both here. Sharply hit, but right at Josh Harrison for the out.
Yeah, Bryant we knew would be here pretty early this season. Russell, we weren't sure exactly when he would get here, but we're not getting a whole lot out of the second base position. Alcantara was struggling. Herrera's more of a bench guy. Russell supremely talented. He's always been the youngest guy for his league by a wide margin. He's the youngest player in the National League right now. It'll be fun to watch him develop.
Fowler hits it hard, but foul past Brandon Hyde. The Cubs first base coach, Gary Jones at third. Dexter's got to get on base a little bit more and steal some bags. He's got 4 steals. Anthony Rizzo has 5. Money's still on Fowler to steal more.
Yeah, Anthony, they're going to start calling him the Flash or something the way he's been running. Dancing Bear.
Fowler asks for time. shake of the ball in the glove by Worley, and the pitch. Sinker is low.
Yeah, I think Worley would try to get Fowler out inside if they were doing their homework, watching Dexter at bats on this road trip. He's doing a lot of good work. Ball's moving away from him, exploiting that gap in left center. Pirates as a staff do a pretty good job of pitching inside, making hitters aware of both sides of the plate. A guy like Worley certainly has to do that. He's not going to overpower you in the strike zone. He is going to fool you in the strike zone, though. Very deceptive. Scoring out him, we talked about it in his last start. Gets an inordinate number of called third strikes. He's not a big swing and miss guy. He doesn't have a real high strikeout rate, but a good chunk of his strikeouts are looking. And with left-handed hitters, a lot of times it's that two-seam fastball that he'll start inside and runs back to the inside corner.
Ball 4. This Friday, May 1st, the Cubs welcome in the new month, and the Milwaukee Brewers at 1:20. The first 10,000 fans in attendance will get a Wrigley Field football presented by Wintrust Community Banks. For more info or to purchase seats, visit Cubs.com.
Worley's been good in his career shutting down the running game. It's been a losing proposition. 9 steals, 12 caught. Not that many attempts when he's been on the mound.
Good lead by Fowler. Not going. Outside on Soler.
Quick step, quick arm action. A third-round pick of the Phillies in 2008, came to the big leagues for the first time at the age of 22 in 2010. Just a handful of appearances. Then the next year, he was 11-3 for the Phils. 21 starts. Kind of a high point for him for resurfacing with Pittsburgh last year when he was 8-4 in 17 starts.
Chop foul over the Cubs dugout. Just for fun, taken ahead of Worley in the third round in 2008. Craig Kimbrell to the Braves. Danny Espinosa to the Nationals. There goes Fowler to base hit. And he'll keep on moving to third. Soler's 2 for 2.
Feels so good, feeling good again for that 0 for 15, 10 punch out streak. Soler, despite the cold, off to a good start here tonight. Double, and now this single. That's a base hit anyway. You see where Walker was playing Soler, so it wasn't so much that he vacated to cover the bag. He was well towards second base anyway.
And now Anthony Rizzo. Punched out swinging in the opening inning. Ball 1.
Ten out of 22 on the road trip. That's 455. That's Rogers Hornsby like.
Yep. Line drive, base hit. Cubs grab the lead. Fowler scores. Soler on his way to third. Rizzo hustling into second. He's got a standing double. 1-0.
Talk about locked in. What a great swing of the bat. Backdoor, slider, cutter, something like that. Fowler trots home, Soler to third, and Rizzo hustling all the way into second. Decision time now for the Pirates. How aggressive do they want to be with Bryant with the base open? Left-handed hitting Miguel Montero on deck, and that's exactly why Joe Madden likes to put up his right and left-handed bats.
2-out rally here in the third. Walk, single, double. And it's 1-0.
Not just Joe. Most major league managers like to do. Create some matchup problems. You want to pitch around the dangerous guy in the cleanup spot? Well, you could do that, but we've got a left-handed hitter with Pop on deck who's also swinging it really well right now. Stay loose, fellas.
It's early. Bryant has seen about 40% fastballs, seeing a lot of sliders.
Well, one of the things I really like about him, I don't know how this at-bat is going to turn out, but we've seen him in situations like this. A couple men on base, couple outs where, a young hitter might get a little jumpy and expand his own. He's been very patient in these situations. This time Worley got him to offer at that breaking pitch. Strike the ball. Slider.
It's foul.
Willingness, as Joe Madden says, to accept a walk. Not take a walk, but accept it. You're not going to throw you a strike. All right. Jog on down to first.
That ball will drop down. 2 runs are going to score. Soler and Rizzo. And the line keeps moving. 3-0.
Two outs, nobody on when it started. Fowler able to work the walk. 3 straight hits, single, double, single. Soler, Rizzo, Bryant. Fastball. It's a good chunk of home plate. Inside out stroke by Bryant.
Trip to the mound by Ray Searage, a pitching coach.
Jones is going to have a lot more traffic to deal with this year than last.
Funny thing about Bryant, he hasn't homered yet, and yet the profile's been great. It's his 10th game, 44 plate appearances, and he's known as a home run hitter. He hasn't hit one, but he's contributed a ton offensively. So just wait till it heats up a little bit. The fun should really start.
Yeah, I think, you know, there's a couple things that stand out to me. There's the quality at bats, the athleticism, the way he runs the bases, the way he moves around out there at third base for such a big, tall guy.
1-2 on Montero. Check on him. Back in safely. A walk and 3 straight hits. Here it comes. It's outside. Mentioned the Pirates pitching staff, second in the National League with a 2.91 earned run average. Second in the majors in terms of their starters ERA at 2.64. Worley strikes out Montero, but the Cubs get 3 and lead it 3-0.
Bleacher Fridays on select dates throughout the season. Budweiser Bleacher Fridays will include pregame entertainment, exclusive giveaway items, special food and beverages, and more. For more information and to buy your Budweiser Bleacher tickets, visit Cubs.com.
Looking good. I guess the concrete has to sit there for a few weeks to get settled before they can the bleachers there, but it's getting close.
It's kind of curious. Yeah, you know, when it was wet, we should have went out there and put our handprints in it. Lennon JD 2015.
Right.
100 years from now, they'd say, what was that?
One strike on Andrew Lambeau as Hamill works with a 3-0 lead.
Jason came into this game having walked just one batter in his first 3 starts. He's issued no walks tonight, just 1 base runner. The infield hit by Morley last inning. To have all of his pitches working for him here this evening.
Lots of injury news today. Adam Wainwright, Thursday will have Achilles surgery. He's done for the year. Adam Ottavino has been closing for the Rockies, goes to the DL with right triceps inflammation. Called strike 3. Homer Bailey, right elbow sprain to the DL, and well, not pleased at all with that strike 3 call.
He's taking that don't leave the batter's box rule to heart.
I'm not leaving.
They told us to stay in the box. Borderline pitch. Could have gone either way.
Brandon McCarthy has a torn ulnar collateral ligament.
Really? I saw he came out of the game the other day.
Bad news for the Dodgers. Foul tip or strike 3.
Starting to pile up the red ink on the scorecard. 6 strikeouts now for Hamill. How good is this pitch? He's owned that spot tonight. Left side command of the fastball, down and away to the right-handed hitter. Saw it with Lambeau, the inside corner to the lefty. Change up here to Walker. So McCarthy out for the year. Called up veteran Scott Baker to make a start yesterday.
Two 2-0 on Walker. He lined to right in the second. Cleanup spot. And he's got a 10-game hitting streak as he singles to right.
Well, you could tell in that first at-bat that he was seeing the ball really well. He ended up lining out. He hit that ball hard down the line, foul, and then lined out to right. And here he's on this fastball.
By the way, I think he would be heartened to know that there is a lot of passion for the National League style of ball, certainly on Twitter. People are really into it. Right? They do not want it under any circumstance. And the thing is, I agree. I'm just kind of giving up the fight.
Yeah, and you know, I was a couple of years ago. It seemed like it was headed that way, but I have heard a number of people. No, well, Bud Selig, right? Didn't Bud say that he didn't want to see it happen?
Well, he grew up a National League fan in Milwaukee, in Braves games, so I think it's near and dear to his heart.
How about we make a rule where you can hit for your pitcher once in the game, but leave him in the game? The designated hitter only one at bat.
I like it.
Be very judicious as to when you use it. And if you don't use it tonight, you can use it tomorrow night. We're going to change.
I like that.
You can put him in the bank.
By the way, for those tweeting us that Andrew McCutchen struck out on 2 pitches, it was 3. It just happened to be one behind on her graphics. That's why he didn't argue. It was actually 3 strikes, not 2. Two and 2 on Marte. Oh, look out, Pedro Alvarez.
Oh, my goodness.
Man, that gives you flashbacks of Aaron Miles and Juan Encarnacion. Remember that? In St. Louis.
Yeah.
That ended Encarnacion's career. I think Miles was even batting right-handed, and the ball ended up hitting Encarnacion in the face, fractured his orbital, and he never played another game. Well, he let that ball get really deep.
Like he was playing cricket. Okay, looked like he was trying to hang in there and let that ball hit him. He gets hit by the pitch a lot. Last able to spin out of the way. 3-2. Walker will be on the move. Ball hit that hard too. You don't have time to get out of the way.
No.
It either hits you or it doesn't. It's just a matter of luck.
Jam shot grounded to Russell, and the inning comes to an end. 2-out single, no runs. Cubs 3, Pirates nothing.
Pretty nice night, 2 for 2 despite his struggles coming into this. And I had a chance to talk to Manny Ramirez before the game, who will be with the team throughout the homestand, helping a lot of the hitters, especially the young ones. And one of the things he said he noticed right away with Soler is when the guys around him started really heating up and hitting, he could tell right away he was pressing, trying really hard. And he just needed to relax. Told him to still be aggressive, but wait for that pitch. Don't be afraid to take a walk. That's as good as a hit. And one of the things he left me with, guys, is that he said, don't forget, when it comes to scouting, very few teams had seen big league pitching going towards Soler. And they said now they're kind of beginning to see what's effective, pitching him inside and away. And he basically said, you know, it's this whole cat and mouse game of now making the adjustments with JD. I'm sure you can talk about in a young hitter's career and the pitchers facing him, how much they have to do that.
Castro, the ground ball to Jordy Mercer. Thank you, Kelly.
Yeah, there's a lot of adjustments to be made for a young player, and that's why we marvel at Chris Bryant, how he's been so disciplined at the plate, and that's the way Soler was last year, and for the most part in the early going this year. Just this recent stretch where he's gotten out of his game a little bit and started to press. And sometimes you just run into good pitching too. You run through a stretch of games where the opposing starters are on top of their game and they're able to take advantage of it. And the thing you have to do as a player, and I think it's probably easier for the veteran than the younger guy, is not to panic, to realize, hey, tonight I'm just going to scratch and hopefully get a base hit somewhere along the way. And tomorrow night or the night after that, the guy in the mound won't be quite as good, and I'll get myself 2-3 knocks and do some damage.
Strike on Chris Coughlin. Driven in the air out into deep left. Back on it, Marte, and he gets there right in front of the vines. Coughlin's flying to the warning track and left both times. Clark's Crew, presented by Jewel Osco's, the official kids club of the Chicago Cubs. Team up with Clark as a member of Clark's Crew and receive kid-specific perks, experiences, and merchandise. Visit Cubs.com/Clark to sign up today. Be a part of the fun all season long. Late swing, Jason Hamill. Played inside, 1-1. Making really good contact so far this season. That time for an out as the Cubs go 1-2-3, but they lead it 3-0.
Authenticated game used and autographed Cubs memorabilia. Visit Cubs.com/authentics for more information and to bid on weekly auction items, including game used baseballs, jerseys, bases, and much more. The Cubs will donate net proceeds from the sale of Cubs Authentics to Cubs charities. He shoots, he scores!
Brent Seabrook, night off, and a Cub fan. Looks like he's sitting in the penalty box behind the glass. Hey, so Josh Hamilton is back in a Texas Rangers uniform.
How about that?
5-year, $125 million contract he signed with the Angels. He's been on the DL recovering from right shoulder surgery. He's going to report to the Rangers spring training facility in Arizona tomorrow, and they're hoping he's back in late May.
When healthy and doing his thing, he was about as good as anybody in the game. Nothing he couldn't do on a baseball field. Speed, power, big arm.
Off-field issues. Reported drug relapse. Did not report to the Angels in spring training with the injury and then the relapse. An arbitrator ruled that he would not be disciplined. And based on some of the comments people in the Angels camp made at the time, it looked like that relationship was not going to last much longer. And he's back with Texas.
Yeah, and no players involved in that deal, just a cash deal. And I believe the Angels are still paying a real big chunk of the money owed. So it's kind of a very low risk deal for the Rangers. Hopefully he can kind of recapture what he did there previously.
He's got over $80 million due. According to the story, he agreed to give up some of that money as Alvarez lines out.
Pirates have not hit many balls hard this evening. That one was well struck by Alvarez. Jason Hamill in complete control here.
We'll see the Brewers this weekend. Ryan Braun not in their lineup for the second straight day. He's healthy, but Ron Renicky, after a win yesterday, wanted to not change things up in their lineup. Cervelli with an opposite field single. Milwaukee hosting the Reds. Check that at Cincinnati tonight, and it's not going well for the Brewers. 9-2 Cincinnati in the seventh.
In all likelihood, the Brewers will lose, and they'll fall to 4-16. Ground ball to short last time up for Mercer. Jason Hamill would love to dial up another one of those. Get two, get out of here, and have the pitcher leading off the next inning.
Bounce behind the bag, and Russell could not get it to Castro. That ball took a squirrely hop, and Russell had a hard time handling it, and he'll be charged with an error. I'm not sure what this ball did, but it did something funky once it got past the mound. He could not get it out of his glove. He was too close to Castro.
Yeah, I think he was just maybe a little indecision there, not sure what he should do. He hasn't played a lot of second base. Ideally, he just keeps charging that ball and runs right to the base to make sure he gets the out at second and worry so much about turning two. Yeah, they kicks back a little bit to the right on him. I think he slowed up a little bit, maybe thinking that Castro was going to cut across in front of him.
Bunted by Worley. That's a good bunt. Rizzo will pick it up. Russell covering first. It goes 3-4. It seems to me pitchers early on that we've seen have not done a good job doing what Worley just did. And that is first pitch, just get the ball down.
Yes. When asked to bunt, now we talked to Joe Madden about it, and a lot of times, depending on the situation, he'll let his pitcher swing early, trying to do a little damage, and then he'll put the bunt on later on in the at bat. But if the sacrifice bunt is on, it's one of my pet peeves in the game. Guys go up there and clear sacrifice situation, and they'll take that first pitch right there, put themselves in a hole.
Pirates trying to get back in the game, and a 2-out RBI spot for Harrison. And he takes a strike. Cubs pitching did not allow a hit to the Reds with a runner in scoring position in that 2-game weekend sweep.
One of the reasons why the Pirates are 5th in the league in runs scored, despite a .232 team batting averages, they've been really good in these situations.
Harrison chases one in the dirt. He thinks he got a piece of it. Lance Barrett said no, inning over. They strand 2. It's still 3-0. As they try to start this homestand with a win over a team that has won 5 in a row. Pirates just swept the Diamondbacks in Arizona. That is the first 3-game sweep for the Pirates at a National League West club since 2007. Cubs swept the Reds 2 games over the weekend in Cincy.
A mini sweep.
Mini sweep, yeah.
Like a little whisk broom.
Kind of like the umpire broom, yeah. 1 strike on Russell. 2 strikes on the kid. That was Robin Yount's nickname. What was he, 18? Came to the big leagues. The kid, and it stuck. He's still the kid. He's in his 50s.
Gary Carter?
Yeah. Slowly, and a base hit for Russell as Harrison knew he had to barehand it and just couldn't get it.
Sinker gets on top of it, a little rollover chopper to Harrison. Do or die play. It's tougher to make on a cold night too. One had a little funky spin working.
Fowler tried to bunt for a hit. Marlins have cut Jared Saltalamacchia, catcher. Signed a 3-year deal prior to last year. JT Realmuto will take over. Had already taken over back to the plate.
Well, Marlins playing good ball. They've won 5 in a row. Just swept the Nationals.
They gave it up tonight. Yeah. Steve Cishek. Mets scored 3 in the 9th to beat the Marlins 3-1. Jared Cozart, 8 shutout innings on 2 hits. It's a very tough no decision.
Had to hang with him.
Oh. Daniel Murphy with a game-winning 2-run homer. Runner goes. That ball popped into shallow left, and it will drop down for a hit. Good job by Worley, the pitcher, to cover third as Russell was thinking about advancing another base. How about the way this inning is started?
A little chopper to third, a little flare into shallow left. Gary Jones is trying to bring Addison Russell all the way over. He knows that ball is going to drop in. Normally that's a ball a shortstop would make a play on or have the best chance to make a play on, but Mercer was swung way around the other way.
Good call, Jonesy. Chance here with 2 on and nobody out. Big part of the order coming up, but trouble here. 5-4-3. Double play, 2 outs. You know what the good news there was? It wasn't a triple play.
You wonder where you were going there. There was no outs when it started, so Rizzo's got a chance to drive in a run here. That's the other bit of good news. Gary Jones talking to Addison Russell down there. But normally when the base runners are on, we talk about him picking up the third base coach, especially when the ball's behind him. That time it was in front of him, but it never hurts to pick up the third base coach, especially for a young guy like Russell. And that way Jonesy can say, look, it's on me. I brought you over. If you get thrown out, so what? I was waving you on.
Trickles away from Cervelli, but not far enough. Got the Intentional Talk crew here tonight from MLB Network. They did their show on the field before the game. Chris Rose and Kevin Millar will do the stretch. That'll be a base hit. Rizzo with a second RBI hit. And it's 4-0 as Russell scores.
Well, that's a big lift provided by Rizzo after the double play. Threatened to clean up the inning. Anthony was 455 on the road trip. I mean, he's just been a machine here. One good at bat after another. This ball's off the plate, down, but he covers it. He covers the outside part of the plate so well because he's right on top of home plate. Big guy is off to a great start.
All the runs tonight have come with 2 outs.
They'll start checking them. You talked about it earlier, 5 out of 5 in stolen bases, and a lot of times what Anthony does is he'll take a very short lead. Lull everybody to sleep, and then he'll get that running start.
Foul. Frank Batista with a nice performance at AA Tennessee yesterday. 7 innings, 1 run allowed. He's got a 1.02 ERA. Albert Almora hitting .306, off to a good start. That one lofted, little soft liner, center field. Rizzo to second. So they've combined to go 4 for 6 with 4 RBIs so far.
Stays back nicely on the breaking ball. Not a bad pitch. Down around the knees, off the end of the bat. Fowler's been on twice. Solaire's been on twice.
Adames Liz.
Host your best customers and guests at a private suite here at Wrigley Field. The Nuveen Investment Suites can accommodate anywhere from 15 to 55. Include food you can drink and parking. To book your premier experience at the ballpark, visit Cubs.com/suites.
Iowa Cubs lost 7-0 in a 7-inning doubleheader game today in Colorado Springs. Game 2 postponed due to falling temperatures. But the I-Cubs might be able to go skiing tonight. I see they've got some snow up there in the mountains.
Where are they?
Colorado Springs.
Yeah, that's a workout.
Worley to Montero, ball 2.
First place Cardinals are on top of the Phillies 1-0, bottom of the 5th in St. Louis. John Lackey and Cole Hamill doing the pitching.
Lifted in the air, left field, handled by Marte. Cubs add to their lead 4-0 after 5. Jason Hamill tonight has been terrific. A T-Mobile game changer. 5 shutout innings. Suffered the loss in his last start at Pittsburgh. Different story tonight with a 4-0 lead. 3 hits, no walks, 7 strikeouts. That continues a trend for him in terms of the walks and the strikeouts.
Yeah, it's one walk so far this year.
23 punch-outs, 1 walk. That'll play.
Yeah, and you know, and a lot of times you think, well, it's cold weather, so it's easy to pitch. But just watching the quality of his pitches tonight, that you know, the game he has pitched tonight would play regardless of the weather. Hot night in July. I mean, the fastball command has been outstanding. That curveball he finished Harrison off with in the last inning was just flat out nasty.
Two on the way, Lambeau. 2 bouncer right to Rizzo. Gregory Polanco had been hot, scratched due to groin tightness. Lambeau in his stead is 0 for 3. Now McCutchen.
Hitting next, number 22, center fielder.
Hitting just $180.
Polanco hit a home run off Jason Hamill in his start in Pittsburgh last week. As a pitcher, you always worry too when you make back-to-back starts against the same team. You think, oh man, they're gonna be all over my stuff. Not the case.
Comes a 1-1. Down. It's a good place to be if you're going to miss. Bryant. And he got it.
Oh, man.
Rizzo stayed on the bag.
Dan Isaacson took a long look at that one before making the call. Clint Hurdle's making his way out of the Pirate dugout. They might want to take a look at this one. Ryan has a tendency to have that throw sail up the line on him a little bit. I think they got him.
No
he
argument.
will not challenge. Right now, the toughest guy in this Pirate lineup with the 9-game hitting streak. 2 good at bats tonight, a line out, a solid single.
In the air to center. Fowler's got it. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Cubs 4, Pirates nothing. NFL Draft with CSN Chicago, starting with a special on-location edition of Sports Talk Live from the Tavern at the Park. Plus the latest from the Auditorium Theater and Hallis Hall as the Bears get set to pick at number 7. NFL Draft coverage presented by Miller Lite starts at 5:30 on Comcast Sportsnet. Inside on Starlin Castro. Cubs batting in the 6th, leading 4-0. Castro 0 for 2, bounced into a double play his first time. Home run cut there.
On the ground twice tonight. He's always been a guy who hits the ball on the ground a lot. He's real extreme so far this year. Not slugging, he's hit a couple of home runs, but the batting average has been outstanding. And Joe Madden, as we have seen, likes to start runners when Starlin's up there. He's hit the ball, when he puts it in play, over 60% of the time on the ground.
2-2.
For context, league average is 44-45%.
Foul tip, strike 3.
How do you get to Wrigley? The Cubs suggest the use of public transportation. That's always a good choice. If you're a bike rider, you can use the courtesy bike check. That's located near Clark and Addison. And if you're driving, the Cubs provide free parking and shuttle services on night or weekend games from 3900 North Rockwell. For details, visit Cubs.com. I like the little bike on our graphic there.
Joe Madden likes to take out his bicycle. I don't think he's done it yet.
He's a warm weather guy.
He's waiting till it hits 80.
I think fans, there'd be a lot of fans this summer doing double takes out there by the lake. Go, hey, was that Joe Madden? Is that the Cubs manager?
Driven in the air out into deep left center. Coughlin has found the warning track out there 3 times tonight, all for outs.
He can only smile and shake his head. On another night, you're Tuffy Rhodes.
In Hamill, the pitcher, Jason Hamill.
Steady's tough luck.
The ground to the shortstop, Mercer, to end the inning. Still 4-0 Cubs as we head off to the 7th. Pirates one more time. We'll have the first pitch at 7. They're on Comcast Sportsnet. Cubs leading 4-0. Jason Hamill has been terrific tonight. As we mentioned, Kevin Millar, Chris Rose from Intentional Talk, MLB Network, doing their show today. They're going to sing the stretch, and Kevin Millar is with us. And you actually finished your career as a Chicago Cub.
I did. I was big time. I hit about 180 in 2010 spring training. Unbelievable. I popped up the short. It was a 1-0 changeup to this day. The last at bat I had, and I still want that pitch back. I tried to homer, and it went about 74 feet up in the air.
You didn't make the club?
Last day at camp, I had my full uni on. I had the jock strap, everything. Boom, got released. I thought I was making the club. And next thing I know, I was crying on Gary Hughes' shoulder and Jim Henry. I'm like, oh, my God, what do I do now? So I got my truck, drove home, and, yeah, that's a true story. Had spikes on everything. I didn't know what to do. I didn't pack up. I just grabbed my keys and left.
I guess sometimes you got to kind of be nudged, right? You know, everybody has a different story about when they're done. JD's story is actually great. You know, his final game was here.
Yeah, it was here.
Blowing out. And the story, I'll let JD tell the story here, is 2-0 on the way. Castro will charge.
You know the height with the towers?
Yeah.
We're on Wacker. You guys used to stay there back in the day?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we stayed there, and I was walking from the one tower to the other. I looked out, and I could see the heat radiating off the street. And I was with the Phillies at the time, and I pitched in the minor leagues most of the year and kind of forced their hand to call me up by being halfway decent in AAA. And I'm walking across that, looking at the heat, and it's 105 degrees that summer. And I know the wind's blowing out, and I know I'm going to get lit up, and I know they're going to release me, and I know I was done. And it all went down just like that. Yeah, just like that.
And that's why he became a good broadcaster, because he predicted that he would be bad that day.
That's right.
Yeah, I said that's yeah.
Did you tell Jimmy that you and I were neighbors?
Yeah, we were actually neighbors my first year in Florida, and Kevin actually stored his Harley in my garage.
Right.
That was great.
Did you ever learn how to drive a Harley?
No. Oh, no. I still have a garage, but no
Harley.
motorcycle.
1 down, 4 up, just in case you ever do. 1 down and 4 up.
And what year was this?
02.
02. That's right.
How about that Marlins team? Preston Wilson, Ryan Dempster, Kevin Millar, Cliff Floyd. Nobody could get a word in edgewise.
Hey, true story. Look at that team. We lost 174 games at a 162-game year. 98, 99, 2000, 2001. Lost every game we played. If you look at that club, Mike Redmond, Mike Lowell, Alex Gonzalez, Luis Castillo, Derek Lee. We had Preston Wilson, Cliff Floyd, Mark Kotze, A.J. Burnett, Brad Penny, Ryan Dempster. A ton of guys had great careers. 10-plus years. Felix Heredia, Alfred Seca. Couldn't win a game. And that's why I always say, when you sit back and you go through growing pains as cities, like, because we had monster growing pains. I mean, think about it.
Yep.
But you look at, fast forward a few years, and guys become a few All-Stars, a couple World Series, a couple this. It's an amazing thing. That was our team.
No question.
Ultimately, some pretty good resumes came out of that club.
It's a true story. And it was amazing to sit there and look back, and we laugh about it. You know, and A.J. Burnett walked in our locker room. I think he was 21 years old. And he had rings. I don't know if you can say this on radio.
He had jewelry.
He had jewelry on his chest area as a male. And I was like, who was that kid? And he's A.J. Burnett. He's still playing. And now I got makeup on my forehead. He's still pitching in the show.
Well, Kevin, one of my favorite guys, and so great to see you, and glad for all your post-playing career success. And I know you and Chris are going to sing the stretch. Rose is telling you to wrap it up. You got to put the earpiece in and sing.
Tom Arnold,
he's afraid you're going to leave him hanging.
Best Damn Sports Show, John Sally, Chris Rose, NFL Network, MLB Network. What's he not work on? Oprah Winfrey Show.
Thanks, Kevin.
Thank you, guys.
Great to see you, brother.
Jimmy, great story.
Good to see you, man.
I got released the same way you did.
Yeah, we've all had our hearts broken.
Here's Cervelli. Did I say Kevin Millar, Ryan Dempster, Cliff Floyd, Preston Wilson? That right there, that first 2 outs, times 4 in the clubhouse every day. It was awesome. Picked up by Castro, out at first. And here comes the stretch.
Tonight's guest conductors for Take Me Out to the Ball Game, MLB Network's Kevin Millar and Chris Rose.
You ready? All right, Cubs fans. A 1, a 2, a 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowds. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever get back for it. Root, root, root for the. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it. Strikes are out at the old ball game. Let's go, Kevin! Let's score some runs!
Catcher. Looks like Chicago area native Rob Scahill will do the pitching.
Rob so far this year has been pretty darn good with an ERA of 0. On for the 7th time. 4 2/3 innings of work thus far. And 9-1-2 up for the Cubs here in the bottom half of the 7th.
Russell lets another bat go flying, and unfortunately a fan got hit, and I hope he's all right.
Obviously uses a real loose grip on that bat. He had throwing well down the line into the stands in Cincinnati.
So I don't know if you and I can really explain what it's like with a 7th inning stretch, because 6 innings, this is pretty serene, calm, just chatting, like 2 guys sitting at the bar watching a ball game, and then happy hour hits.
And there's a fire drill,
and this place is packed. Off in the distance here, there are probably 7 people packed in, and we have 1, 2, 3, sometimes 8 stretch singers, and it's total chaos for about 10 minutes, and then it's quiet again.
And then I'm checking my book and say, well, okay, who's in the game here? Who's pitching? What's the score?
But we wouldn't have it any other way. Swing and a miss.
Yeah, good runner at 96. Yeah, you know, and some half innings seem to drag on and on and on, and other half innings go way too quick, and that was the case with Kevin.
A lot of good stories from Kevin Millard. You know, he was going to Japan before the Red Sox got him.
Oh, was that right?
Yeah. Changed the entire fate of his career, as he ended up obviously being a World Series champ.
Played down at Lamar University in Beaumont, Texas for Jim Gilligan.
And for people who remember Kevin as a player, you know, He was always told he wasn't good enough defensively at first, at third, in the outfield, but the guy could hit. He could get on base a lot. Theo Epstein realized that. He made it a priority to get him, and he came up with a cowboy up thing with the Red Sox and the idiots and all that stuff. 3-0. Three and one.
Kevin, undrafted out of college, right? Signed it, played independent ball, worked his way into affiliated baseball.
Smacked the other way into left. Third time Fowler's been on.
A good off-field stroke for Fowler. That was a theme yesterday. The Cubs did a lot of good work hitting the ball the other way yesterday in Cincinnati. Ball had run but not sink. That ball oftentimes gets lined, as was the case here. 10th hit of the day, of the night for the Cubs.
By the way, another note about the stretch, because of the new speaker system right now, they have to wear earpieces because there's a little bit of a delay. So that's why we have to cut some of the interviews a little short. They have to put the earpieces in to get ready to sing. Past years, we've just talked to people right up until the time they were introduced. Fowler runs. Soler takes a strike and safe at second is Fowler.
Fowler ties Rizzo for the club lead with 5 stolen bases. Both 5 out of 5. Time to adjust the helmet. There's the other speed demon.
Jam shot foul over the screen and into the stands. Paid crowd 29,159 on this chilly night.
Chili Davis. Need him here tonight. He'd be good.
Yep.
David Freese. Cool Papa Bell.
Soler couldn't hold up. That's strike 3.
Soler needs the sunshine. Tried to check, could not. No argument. 2 out of 4 tonight.
Wide for ball 1. Rob Scahill, as we mentioned, went to Willowbrook High School in Villa Park, Illinois. Went on to Bradley University. Hometown kid is back. There's his 2-0, and Rizzo takes it. 3 balls, no strikes. Ball 4. On 3 more times tonight. He almost has to get on 3 out of 4 times for his on-base percentage to go up.
This is a machine.
I mean, it's just barroom conversation, right? Who's the best cut player right now based on the year he had last year and the experience? Right now, Anthony Rizzo is the best cut player. But the great thing is, not a lot of people are talking about him because he's now surrounded by all this young talent.
Well, yeah,
the same goes for Castro.
Yeah, these young kids have gotten all kinds of attention, and deservedly so. Rizzo is a finished product.
His on-base percentage .494. Bryant bounces to Harrison. He'll throw to Walker at second. And the inning is over. It's getting late, and the Cubs lead this one 4-0.
MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball. At bat is up to the moment, at any moment, with in-game highlights, live look-ins, replay reviews, radio broadcasts, StatCast, and more. At MLB.com at bat for your smartphone or tablet. It does everything. Grill the hot dogs.
Number 10, the shortstop.
Probably an app for that too.
Mookie Betts game-ending single. Red Sox beat the Blue Jays 6-5 at Fenway tonight. Busy night around the big leagues, and it's been a busy and productive night for Jason Hamill, who works into the 8th inning. A 4-0 ball game. Gordy Mercer missed most of that series last week by a pitch in the chest against Milwaukee. Saw him in the finale. Pedro Strop.
Just in case the Pirates get a little something going. Cool night. He's not made many pitches under duress tonight, has Jason Hamill. Might be able to take this one to the house. The Cubs, I don't think they've had a starter going to the 8th yet this year.
Popped into shallow left, and it's Coughlin. Now, for our lows never stop improving. Well, you like to see that after a really rough patch for the Cubs bullpen. Ebbs and flows.
And 5 shutout in the game on Friday, the extra inning affair, and then 3 more shutout innings yesterday.
First at bat for Chris Stewart. Just came in to catch. Reigning AL Cy Young winner Corey Kluber is now 0-3, beaten by the Royals tonight 6-2. Royals 13-6. Cleveland drops to 6-12. Jason Vargas got the victory. Lined into left. Edinson Volquez dropped his 5-game suspension. He pitched Sunday, so the starting pitcher to get suspended for 5 games, you're essentially having your start pushed back a day or two.
Josh Harrison.
I mean, for a starting pitcher, I mean, why don't we literally do 5 games equals 1? So if it's 5, make it 25. It's not the same. 5 games sounds like 5 games, but it's not.
So it's essentially a 1-game suspension.
Yeah. I mean, Ventura got what, 7?
Mm-hmm.
He could have easily gotten 3 weeks.
But if you suspend a pitcher for essentially 5 starts, it's like a 1/6 of his season.
It's true. Yep, good point. I can't argue with your math.
You're so anti-pitcher tonight. You don't want us to hit. You want to suspend us for a month and a half. Right. Ventura's going to have to tighten up his act, isn't he?
Yeah, I would.
And that's getting a little crazy over there. If I'm the Royals position players, hey, dude, you're going to get us killed if you keep throwing at people and popping off. Lambeau was rung up on a borderline pitch back in the 4th. He was not convinced he offered at this pitch. That's kind of like the pitch he was called out on. For 3 tonight, hasn't hit the ball out of the infield. Just that bat doesn't end well for him. He'll not be a happy man.
He's not going to do a Lambeau leap.
He's not.
As Castro makes a catch, 8 in the books of shutout ball for Mr. Hamill. Some key hits with 2 outs. All 4 of their runs have come with 2 outs in the inning. 3 in the 3rd, 1 more in the 5th. They've gotten maybe their best start of the season from Jason Hamill. Hi, Jonathan. Here's Montero.
At the deepest start of the year, Hamill has completed 8 innings here tonight. Travis Wood pitched into the 8th. Earlier this year, he went 7 plus a couple of hitters.
Fouled out of play.
Complete games are a real rarity in the game today. Jason Hamill has 2 complete games in his big league career.
Backhanded by Mercer. Got rid of it quickly. Montero is gone. That's Jason Hamill right there, what you see in the clubhouse most days.
Yeah.
He loves being at the park, loves being a baseball player. Likes to wear cool hats.
Affable guy.
Yeah, just fun.
But it looks like he's done, because if he's coming back out, I'm guessing he'd be sitting quietly contemplating the upcoming 9th.
Yeah, I would agree with you.
Stroke is back up.
Base hit, rolled into left. And salvage for Castro, 1 for 4. See if Coughlin can do the same. He's flied to the warning track 3 times.
We talk a lot about Starlin Castro and his bat to ball skills, his ability to hit all kinds of pitches up, down, in and out. 3 times on the ground tonight. This time he finds a hole and gets himself a knock.
Castillo on deck. There goes Castro. Lined. Oh, Chris Coughlin woke up on the wrong side of bed today, didn't he?
Oh, man. Buzzard's luck.
That is a tough offer. We'll go to the 9th. Still 4-0. Depot toast of the game. Got to be Jason Hamill.
Yeah, raise a glass to Jason Hamill. Outstanding effort here tonight. Had everything working. The fastball command down and away to right-handed hitters, into the lefties as it was there with Lambeau. Outstanding. The pressure-free outing from the one time the Pirates had a chance. They had a couple guys on, and he got Harrison with that curveball to finish him off in the 5th. Chopped about a run and a half off his ERA with 8 shutout innings.
Pedro Strop on to get these final 3 outs. Cutchin, Walker, Marte. 1 strike.
Not easy to win a big league game. You get an effort like you got from Jason Hamill tonight, it kind of looks easy. Offense didn't have to do a whole lot. 3 spot on the board in the 3rd, tacked 1 on in the 5th. Took care of the rest.
Lazy fly ball to Coughlin.
Strop in to do his piece. 1 up, 1 down. Strop part of the mix yesterday for the Cubs bullpen, coming in behind Jake Arrieta, who was really good yet again. It was Ross Cup, Strop, and Rondon an inning each. Scoreless baseball. Strop only threw 9 pitches yesterday. He's good to go.
Yanks won again, 4-1 over Tampa Bay. It's a battle of first place teams in the American League East. So the Mets and the Yankees both leading their respective divisions. Mets 15-5, Yankees 12-8. And the 1-1 is outside. Last night, A-Rod hit number 659 behind Willie Mays. Walker could not hold up. 2-2. Bounced up the middle. Right behind second is Castro. That's out number 2. All right, you ready for this? Ed Hardig, Jim. He just sent us an email. The last Cubs starter to pitch a complete game in the month of April was Mark Pryor in 2003.
Wow.
So, Hamill was maybe a handful of pitches away from getting that opportunity tonight. Ball 1 to Marte.
Hamill threw 107 pitches tonight, 71 of them for strikes, and the manager always has to kind of play that balancing act, give him an opportunity to finish it off, or does he risk overextending him?
The final in Cincinnati, 9-6, Reds over the Brewers. Marquis over Nelson. Atlanta beat Washington 8-4 the final in that one. Phillies lead at St. Louis. They're in the 8th inning, 3-1. Cubs could get within 1 of the Cardinals here early on. Two balls, 2 strikes. Cubs win. Cubs win a combined 4-hit shutout. Jason Hamill did most of the heavy lifting, but Strop a 1-2-3 9th inning. These are the kind of games you love. The timely hitting and excellent pitching.
Jason Hamill able to go out there and shake hands with